Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So did you guys see this? Michael Branch bringing this to our attention. What are flat coins and are they a better inflation hedge? Now, listen to this concept. I thought this was quite interesting. As inflation rates go to the moon, so-called flat coins are coming along for the ride. Now, this is a coin. It's a new category of stable coins, guys, but instead of being pegged to fiat currencies, they are pegged to the cost of living of real-world assets. But then they do give an example here, such as fiat currencies. But instead of being pegged to a dollar, a US dollar, which is going up, or maybe a euro or a Great British pound that is going down, they are actually being pegged to something a little more useful for the citizen who would use this coin. So blockchain development house Laguna Labs is launching one of the first digital assets in this new category. If successful, their flat coin would represent a legitimate inflation hedging cryptocurrency as global inflation figures remain hot. Their Nuon flat coin, okay, so that's what it's called, is pegged to the value of what $1 was on July the 1st, 2022. Once a day, the flat coin's value recalibrates to account for US dollar inflation. One Nuon, worth $1 4 months ago, was valued at $2.04 on Monday. To produce its daily inflation adjustment, Laguna Labs developed Trueflation algorithm, which tracks price movement across 10 million items and produces a daily inflation estimate that mostly tracks with Fed estimates. Such an interesting idea, and it makes a lot of sense if you want to hedge against inflation, and if you want your dollar to still be worth $1 a year from now. With inflation at multiple decade highs, dollar-pegged stablecoins such as Circle's USDC and Tether's USDT depreciate in value relative to the cost of goods over time. A flat coin such as Nuon holds its value through periods of inflation. And so big players in the crypto space like Brian Armstrong and Vitalik Buterin have both advocated for cryptos pegged to the cost of goods rather than fiat currencies. And like most major stablecoins, Nuon is intentionally over-collateralized and will automatically liquidate user loans if the value of their collateral falls below a given level. The hurdle Laguna Labs faces is maintaining an ever-increasing peg as U.S. inflation has occurred every year since 1954. This is going to be an interesting experiment, I think. And I think if you're in the know, it'll get some people clamoring to purchase this coin. You know, if you don't have a lot of money and you're seeing the value of your fiat currency in your bank account have less and less buying power over the years, and we've been seeing this especially over the last year, where inflation has really kind of assaulted many people, maybe a flat coin or the idea of a flat coin is a good idea, a good hedge. I mean, you might not make a lot of money, but maybe it's not for making money. Maybe it is just what you would want in your bank account to pay your bills, maybe attach it to your credit card to pay for gas or for groceries, stuff like that. I think this could be a really good idea. Maybe I'm missing something here, guys. Tell me down in the comments what you guys think about this. Anyway, interesting perspective, and I'm glad Michael Branch brought this to our attention. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm thinking, if I could, I would take all the cash in my bank account and transfer it to a flat coin, and then pay, everything, all my expenses in flat coin. Like, what's the downside to this? I'm trying to think, is there a downside to this? Anyway, maybe I got to digest this more, but do put it down in the comments if you guys have an opinion. Matthew Liny posting this. Okay, guys, November is fast approaching. It is just around the corner. This is just the beginning. You know what is happening in November? ISO 20022 implementation. And so here is a list. Okay, Ripple's XRP, Stellar Lumens, they're the only two cryptos that work together at this time. Coins like Algorand and IOTA are set to be compliant as well. Only Ripple, however, can claim membership in the ISO 20022 management group, which is the gold standard for cryptographic standards. Listed below are all the digital currencies that meet the requirements of ISO 20022. So some of these coins are compliant. Rumored to be compliant are Cardano, Quant, and Hedera, HBAR. Compliant coins, as per this document, Algorand, IOTA, and XFIN, or XDC. And then members of the ISO 20022 standards body over here, XRP and XLM. And so the new messaging standard is coming, guys. I have been posting the timeline and talking about this now and again on this channel over the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years now. It is just one piece of the puzzle of the Great Reset. And speaking of which, here we have it, guys. This from Ian Binns on Twitter. Are the Masons in charge? Well, apparently, and this is happening right now, Rishi Sunak is one of the wealthiest people in Britain and will soon be the most powerful when he becomes Prime Minister. It will be the first time in history that the residents of Downing Street are richer than those of Buckingham Palace. So an elite being put in office, being put in charge in England, And as you guys can see, he is walking through the threshold here. 3-3. Is that symbolism 33? Well, of course, Mason, 33 degrees. In the United States, members of the Scottish Rite can be elected to receive the 33 degree by the Supreme Council. It is conferred on members who have made major contributions to society or to Masonry in general. 33rd degree Masons, guys, that is certainly a thing. What do 33rd degree Masons know that 3rd degree Masons do not know? And so just a little bit of background research. If you guys do not know, the 33rd degree Mason is the highest level you can achieve in Masonry. And if you're interested in that, I would suggest you do more research regarding the 33rd degree and Masonry in general. It all ties into this idea that the powers that be run the world, and lots of them are 33rd degree Masons. And so is it any coincidence that Rishi Sunak is walking through here? 33. Ian Bin's obviously pointing it out as well. Mason's in charge with the winking emoji. And, you know, as I was doing the research this morning, I had to screen grab this because I know sometimes the trending stuff on the right side of Twitter tends to disappear after a while. He's a WEF, was actually trending along with XRP down here. So people are already talking about this. Rishi Sunak, World Economic Forum member, as we've mentioned in the past. Liz Truss was also a World Economic Forum member, but it wasn't really working out for her. And so what they're saying is they just replaced one WEF puppet with another, namely Rishi Sunak. And guys, here's a clip of Rishi from Crypto Liz Taylor here. Well. And to think Ripple is plastered all over London having their conference, and Larson is now stationed in London. Garlinghouse just met with the Bank of London. Think this all ties together? Okay, retweeting out this tweet here. Former Goldman Sachs banker Rishi Sunak looks set to be the UK's next PM. Line by line, has anything we forecasted months ago with Joe Rogan not transpired? Sunak has already announced his advocacy for central bank digital coupons or currencies. Brace yourselves, Britain. Listen to this clip, guys.
Today, I'm proud to say that under the UK's presidency, the group of the world's 7 most advanced economies, the G7, is launching a set of public policy principles for retail central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies could be a digital version of money, a bit like a digital banknote that could be used alongside physical notes and coins. Unlike most of the digital money people use daily today, it would be issued directly by a central bank, like the Bank of England in the UK. And governments and central banks across the world are working together, looking into what having a digital currency might mean in practice. This includes issues that people care about, such as ensuring users' money would be safe and secure, that it could work with other ways to pay, would be energy efficient and available to everyone. A potential CBDC could offer businesses and consumers new ways to pay in the future. It's all part of the wider story of digital innovation that has delivered benefits to millions around the world and in the UK. The decision on whether to launch a central bank digital currency is for each country to make, and no G7 jurisdiction has yet made that choice. These decisions raise important questions about the reshaping of our economy, financial systems, and the way in which people interact with money and payments. That's why working together and careful evaluation with our international partners is essential. In the UK, earlier this year, I announced a new joint task force between the Treasury and the Bank of England to look into a potential CBDC as a complement to cash and bank deposits. We're also hearing from firms, technology experts, and others. Under the leadership of the UK, this report today will help support and inform exploration of CBDCs in the G7 and beyond. With these principles, the G7 is leading an important step change in the global policy conversation. The report covers a range of important matters, such as financial stability, cyber resilience, energy efficiency, privacy, inclusion, and tackling illicit finance.
So all the same WEF talking points, and he sounds so cheery when he's talking about it. Central bank digital currencies, is that something you want, Britain? Probably not. But of course, all the talking points being checked off there. WEF pawn, Rishi Sunak being put in without really being elected to the post. Okay, is there something bigger at play here, guys? Subjective Views here posted this on Twitter. This is probably good for crypto. He says, especially quant, but awful if these guys decide to implement a social credit score for the Brits. Okay, posting this, breaking. Rishi Sunak set to be Britain's new prime minister as rival Penny Mordaunt drops out. We got the same image here of him walking through the threshold, 33. But did you know that somebody had predicted this 107 days ago? England, be prepared. Okay, this is a screen grab from a subreddit. It looks as if a British Indian by the name of Rishi Sunak will be England's next prime minister. Huh? At my USG job right before Christmas, our bosses had us register a domain, readyforrishi.com. You can look this up yourselves on the dates. Yesterday, Boris Johnson resigned, and we were tasked to wire money to a Panamanian law firm to pay two organizations, SLG Group and Black Cube, to remove all anti-South Asian and anti-Indian on mainstream social media platforms and to promote pro-immigrant and pro-British Indian vibe on the interwebs. So you see, guys, how deep this runs. They will also make sure Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland remain unified under one global mentality sentiment. I'm a pretty mid-level dude at my work, but when we went for Davos in May, this guy was getting wooed by every banker and world leader. Homie will not be elected. He will be chosen and approved by the powers that rule this realm, as we found to see 107 days later. He is also a board member of the World Economic Forum, as we know, under Klaus Schwab. You don't have to believe me, just pay close attention to what happens in the media over the next few days and weeks. Boom. Wow. This prediction was right on. Interesting post here. So this continues by going on. The father of Sunak's wife, okay, is Akshata Muthy. And he's the founder of Infosys, an Indian information technology company that provides services to a host of Fortune 500 companies and banks. One of the company's leading services is Finacle, a digital banking platform. Muthy remains a foreign citizen with non-dom, i.e. non-UK tax-paying status, despite her husband's work as Britain's most senior finance chief, and expectation of becoming prime minister. Also, Infosys is listed as an official World Economic Forum partner, which has been accused of seeking to develop the technological infrastructure to implement a global social credit system. Social credit scores have been used by authoritarian regimes to deny rights and restrict the movement of individuals who fail to comply with diktats. For the World Economic Forum, social credit priorities would likely focus on left-wing social issues like climate change, diversity, and equity. Okay, so there's that connection, guys. Looking into this a little further, though, in the silver lining for XRP holders, this from T. Holbetic. He posted this actually on, I think it's Reddit or, XRP chat back in May of 2018. So 4 years ago, India Infosys said that it had formed a blockchain with 7 banks to be known as India's Trade Connect. The banks include Indus Bank, RBL Bank, and Axis Bank. And guys, just for context of that, Indus Bank and Ripple tie up for cross-border remittances. So here's an article just discussing that. And then, so that was in February of 2018. Fast forward to March of 2019 here. Ripple, India's federal bank, team on cross-border payments. Federal Bank in India has partnered with blockchain company Ripple to facilitate cross-border payments, according to a report. Federal Bank confirmed the collaboration in an announcement to the Bombay Stock Exchange on Thursday, March the 28th. This is to inform Federal Bank has entered into a partnership with Ripple. They're going to be powered by blockchain-enabled solutions. The Ripple platform ensures cross-border transactions much safer and more secured. And then here's another tie-in. Infosys formed a blockchain with 7 banks and is known as the India Trade Connect. The banks include Indus Bank, RBL, and Axis Bank, guys. Indus Bank is a Ripple customer, Axis Bank is a Ripple customer, and I'm not too sure about RBL, but I believe they are also connected to Ripple. Put it down in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I do know Indus Bank and Axis Bank are definitely. Infosys stated that the network is being used by the banks to run a successful pilot of Finacle Trade Connect, a blockchain technology-based solution developed specifically to address the trade finance process requirements of banks. And so again, just to reiterate, Infosys, Rishi Sunak's wife's father was the guy who created that company. And just to kind of lay it out a little more clearly, another tweet here by Subjective Views on Twitter, and kind of lays it out kind of a little more clearly here. So we have the Rishi Sunak thing. October 24th, 2022, Rishi Sunak gets appointed to be Britain's next prime minister. We will own everything and you will be happy. Coincidentally, Rishi has WEF ties, as we know. Rishi is married to the daughter of Narayana Muthy, who is the founder of Infosys Limited that I just mentioned there. Here's a wedding photo, or a family photo rather. Also, Infosys directly mentions Ripple in this 2018 document, as well as this white paper titled Blockchain Technology in the Financial Services Market, in which they conducted interviews regarding DLT adoption, payment transactions, and trade finance, etc. Wild speculation time. I believe the powers that be are positioning their pawns in various countries to usher in CBDCs. Well, we did have that clip earlier of Rishi Sunak talking about central bank digital currencies for England. They pretend as if they are only now exploring the use of DLT, but given everything the XRP community has uncovered, this phased-in plan has been in the works for years. It seems as though the Brits will be one of the first major G7 countries to test out central bank digital currencies if Rishi sticks to his WEF agenda, and time will tell how involved Ripple really is. Call me crazy, but this guy doesn't have darkness in his soul like the rest of the mother weffers. Remember, this isn't about money. The mother weffers will gladly take all your XRP like they did gold in the 40s. This is about God shining light into the darkness. So that was actually a tweet here from Peasant Rising. It is time to rise. Great tweet thread here. Wanted to thank Subjective Views just for posting that. Mr. Blockhead also noticing something really interesting. Expect the unexpected. Here's a tweet from Rishi Sunak back in 2021 with his dog Nova. And back in June of this year, Mr. Poole posted this. A dog, Supernova. Expect the unexpected. Things that make you go, I mean, considering whoever posted this 107 days before Rishi Sunak actually took office, I'd like to believe there are insiders that know what is going on. Also, the rebuild coach here on Twitter, this now makes more sense. Sunak, Storm, Golden Sun. Remember the Howard Moon post, guys, from August of 2022? Sunak, Storm, Golden Sun. Things that make you go, And finally, just to get a little crazy here, just to get a little wacky, Nicola 3. I don't know if you guys saw this clip. This is actually from 2020, so this wasn't recent, but this is from 2020. Sunak is seen here leaving Downing with a red folder that turns green. Really? Take a look at this folder, guys. Keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it. And what? Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking, maybe somebody was having fun in Adobe After Effects or one of those special effects programs. And so people were talking about this a couple of years ago, of course. That's from 2020. And although a weird one, the TV channel does have an alibi. So the TV channel did come out and say this. Okay, Crypto MES responding, right. Unless someone can convincingly explain why his folder suddenly changes color, none of us will ever truly be at peace. And so Jonathan Samuels here responds, hi, it was a device used by our climate change correspondent and her video editor who was posing the question, how green will the budget be? Admittedly, quite subtle. So what they're saying here is they posted this and it was kind of a little test, a little fun activity that the video editor had with the producer, changing the color of the folder. And people just not buying it like Crypto Mess. The world is certainly getting weirder and weirder as the days go on, guys. Not to mention that it's seeming more and more like a stage. All things that make me go, That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.